This is part 5 of Mastering Data Frames with Row64 using Python. In this series, we explore how to load data, sort it, and manipulate data to prepare it for data analysis. I'm your host, Paul Trin. Thanks for joining me. Hey guys, Paul Trin here with Row64 doing tutorials using Pandas and Row64. So if you haven't already, you gotta check out all the other tutorials I've done where we talk about like how to load data, how to merge CSVs into a data set using Pandas. And you can continue on through the tutorial series and hopefully you learn something. I'm super excited to get on the way, but today we're gonna learn how to sort and deduplicate records inside of a data frame. We're going to do that using Pandas, and we're going to do it using Row64. Super excited. Let's get right to it. So Row64, as you probably already know if you've already watched our prior videos, is a really great data frame visualizer, right? We ingest data in at lightning fast speeds, at massive scale, and then we provide you with great little tools to quickly accelerate learning Python or distributing Python formulas to your team. So as you can see here, I've loaded the PPP loan data set, just one of the files here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly do a sort. Let's just do sorting really fast. Okay, so the way you would do it in Python is, well, if you want to see how it's done, click on recipes here inside the data frame tab and jump right into transform. Transform, sorting is kind of like an ETL or extract, transformation, and loading mechanism. And you can see right here we have two different types of sorts. We have an A to Z and another Z to A. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on insert here, and what you're going to see is syntax for sort come into play. And you can put in as many columns as you want, and you can just keep changing this around. So it goes by the order in which you want to sort by, but let's go ahead and look specifically at the Python. If you wanted to do it manually inside of Python, you could type Python as well. So what Row64 is doing is auto-generating Python based upon, what you want here. So let's say, for example, you first want to sort with the office code, and then you want to sort followed by maybe a date. This would be how you would write it inside of the super easy, spreadsheet style syntax. So if I get rid of this, I'm just cut it real quick. You can see the Python on the right automatically is removed. But if I were to type it back in, it jumps right in. So what's going on here? What's under the hood, right? We first read in that CSV file, which is what's being displayed currently inside Row64, right? And then we're going to make a copy of that by just calling data frame, a new data frame. Data frame equals what we read. We're making a copy of it by using the .copy method. And then we're passing and setting that data frame equal to our sort function that we created up here, right? And we're passing into that the data frame, right? The one that we copied. And then we are basically listing out the columns that we want to sort by. So let's look up in here about what exactly is going on. So we first define this function as sort data frame, df, and we pass those two functions in. We create an array or see a list, and then we basically go from that array, an empty array, or empty list, we basically now go through a loop, and we every single column that we want to get rid of, we want to sort. We want to call the .sort values, and we're saying, hey, we want to do it by ascending equals true, right? So you're going to go first through the process of the first column, right, that we want to sort by, and then it's going to pass through the next column, and then it will return the data frame sorted. So if we were going to do this and we hit run, it's great. It runs, and it will sort the data frame for you. So again, we're first starting off with the sort on the office code, and then we're followed up by the date. So we can kind of verify that that's happening immediately inside of our data frame without having to print to console, which is kind of nice. You get to see everything. So you can kind of see really quick as we scroll through here. Yeah, we're in fact at 101, and then we move through the dates. So this is beautiful, right? Really, really easy, really powerful way to do this in Row64. Also really powerful to do it in Python. And you can also do another way. Because we have the data frame actually visualized here too, you can actually just right click here and sort by ascending or descending. So 3 different ways to do this. You can do it again doing Python manually. You could do it using recipes in the transform section. We have our sorts here. And we also have our sorts right on the data frame itself. Let's talk about now how to maybe deduplicate. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this sort real quick. And we'll do deduplication in the exact same way. And here's the cool thing. We actually have 3 different types of dedupes here. We have the normal dedupes, which is, you deduplicate but keep the first record, and remove duplicates and keep the last record. So let's just do the first record for now, right? You can see again, super simple. Row64 has this super easy syntax for anybody to use, and then you can basically choose what you want to deduplicate on and click run. So, and you can see here once I do this, right, the Python on the right there, right in the middle, changing to the appropriate column that we're trying to deduplicate from. Naturally, we got about 1 million rows here. This should take, this process really can't be done inside of Excel if you have like too much data, right? Here with Python, thankfully, and with Row64, because we're GPU enabled, really you can load like 100 million rows and do this type of procedure. And you click run, right? So, but it's the same concept. You can see here that we read the data set in, we're making a copy of it, and then we're passing it into a function that we had already defined. And basically we're just going through the same process of, what are we doing? We're calling the method drop duplicates, right? And we're passing in the column that we're trying to deduplicate on. And we're keeping the first, remember this is the first record, right? If we could click run on this, you'll see exactly what it does. It's wonderful. So that basically just goes through column B, and the script is finished. There we go. We're left with 242 unique dates. Another thing we could do is, let me get rid of this. I'll just reload this data real quick. Is you could use the Row64 UI interface and just do it right immediately inside of here. So let me just close this out. Let me reload this actually. Let me reload this data set. Here we go. Reloading it. There it is. And if I wanted to deduplicate on this, I just right click the column I want to deduplicate on and remove duplicates, and it keeps automatically the first. You can see here running dedupe completed in 1.31 seconds, 359 seconds. Pretty awesome. Really simple and really intuitive to use. But again, you can do it 3 ways, right? You can go through the recipe section and call that specific deduplicate function that you want. I'm going to just do example last here, so you can see dedupe last, right? Same thing. And or you can do the Python itself. So there's 3 ways. Right through the UI, using super easy syntax, and you can also do the more complicated approach, which is to go through and copy and paste or type out your physical Python method. So hope you found this useful. Make sure you follow us for other helpful ways to extract, transform, and load data inside of Row64. But more importantly, you can take all of this skill set outside of Row64 and do it in a normal Python IDE environment. Thanks so much for your time. Have a great day.